great. So, overcoming the world. Overcoming the world. So thank you for this meditation. That's such a good start. So I love it. It's so great to be still and start from there. That's so awesome. So we are preparing ourselves to listen to Joel, and by being open, by being still first, you start to open up and become really receptive. It's like, okay, here I am. Nothing else is filling my mind. Nothing else is tempting me. No, I'm just in an expectancy, like I'm moving forward to something that's going to be given to me. And that will be one of the talks of Joel Goldsmith. And so this talk is interesting in the sense that it tells you a lot about spiritual healing, and in fact the healing principle. See, where does the healing start with? This is really where Joel comes down to in this talk. It's like, where does spiritual healing start? Where does that start? What recognition do you need to have in order for that to happen? So he says this, and he has a lot of illustration today. You'll see that. It's like there's almost like a guided meditation that's in there, and he comes up with a lot of examples of the application of this idea. And so when I ask you, it's like, where does spiritual healing start with? You might think like, well, maybe loving God or something. Like, well, that is not really where he's talking about as the first principles of healing. So I'm not going to tell you everything, but so if we talk about overcoming the world, he specifies the world as mesmeric surroundings in your illusory idea about yourself, and so that means, like, if I take that world as my say as a representation of me, then I see sick people, I see a disastrous world, I see war, I see conflict, I see this, I see that, I see all this stuff, all this stuff. If I take that as my self-identity, as something that is happening in my world, as being all of my existence, as being that representing me, that is not overcoming it. Like, how would you deal with a world if it was a reality? You would have to fight it. You would have to try to heal everyone. You have to try to do this and do that and do all these things in order for it to make it perfect. It's like that. That is one of the things that many have lost themselves into, especially in the religious tradition, and still do. Like in the religious tradition, it is normal to try to adjust the dream, so to speak, to adjust the world into a better world, so that you do something to that. And this is not the way that Jesus worked, so to speak. That's not the way that Jesus worked. In this example of his presence here, in this 33 years, he was not able to do this one by one man by one man healing or whatever. Like, everyone had something, and he was not able to heal all these one by one. So, but what happened? What happened that he is the savior of his world, of this world? How did that happen? Well, this is really where Joel starts to express his given vision about this, and which is essential to know. Like, that is really the secret. You have to know that, otherwise you would be busy for a very long time, thinking that you have to heal all the people, or have to fight all the conflict, or have to work for peace on earth, like, and fight your way against disease. So it is human behavior that we're talking about. It's like, that is, spiritual healing has nothing to do with human behavior in that sense. So your temptation to participate in it, or thinking that you need to fight something or to resist something, as if there's an opposing power that you need to resist, and that is important, that would be your life fulfillment, is not what is asked of you. But then what is asked, you might ask, like, okay, so what is asked and what is necessary to discover all this, to recognize how can this be speeded up, in a sense, it's like, how actually can this work? Because and what is my part in it? Also very important. It's like, what is my part in it? See, we're doers as human beings. You're doers. You want to do something to prove that you are something, and that you really want the best for everyone by doing something, and forgetting at the same time the nature of what you're actually perceiving. So that's really interesting, and Joel tells you a lot in this talk about that. So I try to stay out of it, about what Joel is going to reveal to you. And so we're listening to the first half hour of the talk, maybe a little bit longer, I don't know how the time will be. But it is a great talk, I love it. And so it's actually taking place in Hawaii, in the Kailua area. And you hear airplanes running over his roof, so to speak. And like, you hear all of this time too, this time element in 1955, literally say, put in this tape. It's so much fun, in fact, to look at it that way. While the message that he's extending to us is just as absolutely to the point right now than it will be, than it was when he shared it. So he's actually sharing this right now. So that's always the great thing with the talks about, say, the talks that reveal truth, that actually invite you to come into the recognition of truth. That is a timeless message. It has nothing to do with time, so it is creative in itself. It is never the same. You can listen to this talk probably 10 times or more and still hear something completely different. Because the creative principle that is in this what is being shared has nothing to do with the form, has nothing to do with who says it or when it is being said or any of that. It's like all this form identification, all these form ideas that you hold are being undone if you allow that to occur, and you receive fresh mana, fresh inspiration, just like, wow, this just came down to me. It is just given to you in this moment to receive it. So that is beautiful to see that, and that's why it also does something to you. So it's like you don't have to make notes to remember something. It's like, no, this works totally different. Just as this what Joel shares has nothing to do with form, nothing to do with your ideas about it. So is also the transfer of that what is given you in this moment by listening to the talk. Like, it gives you a recognition. That is what shifts something in you. Like, it does something with you. You don't have to do anything with it. You literally need to do nothing. And this is maybe a very hard lesson for everyone to learn. and yeah, so that's included too. So to sit and relax listening to Joel, we're going to start doing that in probably like 5 minutes or so. For now, we have a moment in which I will play some music. It's like a break time, and I hope to see you in 5 minutes. Okay, thank you so much.